Cold water corals and sponges exist everywhere on the planet. You think of shallow water coral reefs and they occur in this really sort of narrow band around the Earth. It has to be nice and warm, but not too hot. It has to be shallow where there's light, and that really restricts them. But deep sea corals are actually more widespread than shallow water corals. Everywhere that we've been exploring, and this is one of the places to the furthest south that you can go, we found large cold water coral gardens, we found sponge gardens, we found these coral reef structures. Just the sheer number of cold water corals and cold water coral reefs and gardens makes them incredibly significant to the function of the entire ocean. So the term deep sea corals actually encompasses a bunch of different types of animals. They're all cnidarians, but they're split into a few different groups. We tend to refer to them as stony corals, octocorals, black corals, or hydrocorals. So most of the cold water coral habitats that we've seen on this cruise have been in the form of coral gardens. So those are made up of soft corals, and the octocorals, sea fans and sea whips, black corals, these bushy, brightly colored corals. They form this really dense bush or thicket, and lots of other species live on there. We've found little shrimp and crabs, crustaceans that are living right on the coral, little fish that will swim in there. A lot of them will lay their eggs in there and use them as breeding grounds. We've seen these brittle stars with their arms wrapped around the corals. We now know that the brittle stars help clean the bits off of the coral that the corals can't eat so that they can exchange oxygen and continue to feed. Many of those relationships are really specific, where you'll only see this one species of brittle star on this one species of coral, and you never find it anywhere else. Cold water corals are being impacted by lots of different types of human activities. We saw that a really dramatic example in the Gulf of Mexico with the Deepwater Horizon explosion. We saw lots of impacts to the cold water corals in that area, impacts that they're still recovering from all these years later. There's a lot of fishing, and we saw evidence out here in international waters in the Southern Ocean. We were diving through coral gardens, and on the steep slope, they were really just covered with this huge density of corals. And then when we got a little bit shallower, they started to go away, and all of a sudden we saw just this field out in front of us that was basically rubble and these little bits of broken up coral and overturned boulders. And those are real clear signs of human activity and fishing in that area. If we were to lose cold water corals and sponges, we would lose a lot of the nutrients that drive the productivity of our oceans on Earth. And a lot of those things could collapse. We would have to come up with some way to replace those, and those services are worth an incredible amount of money. The ice-covered moons around Saturn and Jupiter are really analogous to some of the habitats that we've been exploring on this journey. There's thick layers of ice, like the icebergs that we've seen, but underneath that, it's this dark place. But that's where life evolved on Earth, in the deep ocean, and likely around hydrothermal vents. And we know now that on these other moons in the solar system, there's likely to be hydrothermal activity. There's methane, there are other organic compounds. All the ingredients for life exist on these other bodies within the solar system. The more we learn about the possibilities for life on Earth, the more we'll be able to understand what signs we need to look for when we go to explore these other places. I'm really optimistic for the future of cold water corals. Once you realize these things are there, you want to protect them. It's really a natural thing, and we've had a lot of success with this vehicle and this organization and the Schmidt Ocean Institute in preserving really large areas of the seafloor, a new protected area in Costa Rica, new parts of Chile that have been explored that are just now being protected. There are so many new species to discover in the deep ocean. Every single time we go down with an ROV or a submersible, we bring back something new. It's a new observation of something we've never seen before. It's a new species. The rate that we discover new species in the deep ocean is incredible.